no half stepping. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. 804-447-0601. What you just heard was a medley for the dearly departed Chuck Brown, Go-Go legend. Go-Go legend, Go-Go music. Very, very prominent in the Washington, D.C. area. First track you heard was Chuck Brown performing live here in Richmond, Virginia. Personally selected track by your man Carlton Banks, and of course his most famous track, Bustin' Loose, recorded in 1979 at the end of the disco era and the dawn of the go-go era. So I want to say rest in peace to Chuck Brown.
Yes, yes.
And I want to say peace to all the go-go music fans that's listening to Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. Tonight we got Jay Grizzy Green in for Big Rube and Carlton Banks in his usual position over my right shoulder. We're going to go ahead and transition from the sports hour into the socially conscious and entertainment hour. And as we do every single week, we start that off by profiling a missing and or exploited child. This week's child is Kendra Amani Allen. Kendra Amani Allen is an endangered runaway born on September 21st, 1999. She's been missing just about a week since we went off the air last week, May 15th, 2012. She's 12 years old. She'll be 13 later on this year. She's missing from Landover, Maryland. She's a black female who stands 5'5", weighs 150 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. Once again, she's missing from Landover, Maryland, which is in Prince George's County. Kendra was last seen at the Kenmore Middle School, and she was also last seen wearing a black shirt, black jeans, and black boots. Kendra Amani Allen. If you have seen her, please contact the authorities in the Landover, Prince George's County, Maryland area, or contact the National Center for the Missing and or Exploited Children at missingkids.com, or contact them by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-THE-LOST. Let's bring Kendra Amani Allen home safe, sound, alive, and back to her family. Carlton Banks, take it away, brother.
You know what? Hey, it's one of them days where you go outside and you see somebody's kid cutting up. And you're wondering, what in the... Are you serious? Is that what they're doing it? I can say hell? All right, I appreciate hell. Sure. I mean, but I don't want this to seem like it's a what the hell situation. Yeah. All right. But my thing is, whatever happened to, it takes a village to raise a child. I mean, haven't you just been in the mall or the store or somewhere and you see somebody's kid just acting up? I mean, I can remember getting off the bus and somehow or another, my neighbor up the street knew I was in trouble. So I got a beating from her. Then the next person down gave me a beating. Then the next person gave me a beating. Then finally I got home. You know, my butt was so black and blue, my parents just had to find another spot to hit. I mean, seriously, is it a problem for other people to discipline your kids? Remember when we used to have Baskin Robbins down here at Willow Lawn?
Right.
Man, I'll never forget this. I was about 10 years old.
You weren't supposed to be down there.
No, I was down there.
Oh.
We went there as a church group.
Oh, okay.
Went there as a church group. And I ain't listened to Miss Carter. That woman pulled my ear so hard. I swear, she pulled it. It's still in her hand today. She pulled it that hard.
You got no ears, you hobbit.
But then you believe that I listened to her for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I had that fear of her for the rest of my life. It's just like, why we can't discipline our kids?
Well,
I mean, what is it that's stopping you from going after my kid or me going after your kid? Now, you know, if it's Jaren, I'm going to put my foot in the throat.
Well, I want you to if you're doing something wrong.
You know, but what is it that says we can't discipline our kids? What happened to that time?
Well, it's a lot of different facets to that question, Carlton, but I'm gonna address culturally what has happened over the times that me and you and Marcus J have came up.
And while you can, give us a call here at 804-447-0601. Chime in on this discussion.
Please do. There's a saying that always the older generation always talks about the younger generation, saying that you know we used to walk 5 miles to school and stuff like that. But culturally, things have changed. I always take things back to segregation, or when the schools or when neighborhoods were desegregated, and just talking about Richmond, Virginia. where neighborhoods were a tight-knit community. I use the part of Richmond that you grew up in, or the part of Richmond I grew up in. And over the years, we've got gentrification, we've had busing.
Oh, he got a big word in it, gentrification.
Come on, man. Don't let the audience know. Grizzly knows how to get in. But so you have these different factors. You have the mistrust of other people. You don't know who your neighbor is. People are scared to go and say hi to your neighbor sometimes. I want to know who's living beside me.
Right.
You know, I want to develop, you ain't got to be buddy, friend, but you want to develop a decent trust with your neighbor and your property to say, hey, if something's over there happening in your property, because it affects the community and affects my property, I'm going to look out for it. Same thing if you have children. And the way people are now, the way we fast forward here in the year 2000 or the new millennium, people have gotten, I don't want nobody in my business. I don't want nobody telling me how to raise my kid. I don't want nobody to discipline my kid. Well, here's what I'll say. You know if your child is a F-up. You know, the parent knows. So it's like when they see someone else saying, hey, I just want, even if it's just a talking to the other parent of the child, you ain't got to physically accost them or, discipline them that way. Just say, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. It's almost like a mirror reflecting on where you lacked as a parent, because you're the one that's supposed to. I always tell my kids, when y'all go out with me, you're representing not just yourselves, but you're representing me. Mm-hmm. You're representing my family. You're representing my family name. You're representing my grandfather, my grandmother, et cetera, because you got to have some type of pride about who you are and how you carry yourself. Now, there are always going to be knuckleheads that don't give a hoot, and it takes a village. Old Hillary Clinton saying, but people that knows that saying was way before Hillary Clinton ever said it. Am I right, Marcus J?
Absolutely.
It was African slang, I want to say it,
was.
But, I think nowadays, another point I want to talk about with this is that you have the Jerry Sandusky's in the world and the Catholic Church in the world, and you got just bad people in the world that make you seclude and bubble your kids, so to speak. So it takes away from people who want to help and do positive things for the community when it comes to what comes with children, and you make them want to withdraw and say, hey, I don't want you to go to this after school program where this I don't know this adult, as opposed to back then, you could go to Humphrey Card, or you can go to the Randolph, or you could go to Hotchkiss, and you could stay all day. You have to worry about if an adult was there, what was going to happen to you. So on that respect, I kind of understand why parents say, I don't want anybody to discipline your kid, because, first, you should be in your job as a parent, but second, there's a lot of nutsos out here, too.
Exactly. I had adoptive grandparents that lived down the street. They could have got me any time of the day of the week. Adopted. Oh, they weren't my grandparents.
They were,
I call them grandma and pseudo. Well, I call them adopted grandparents. But it's still grandma and granddad could have got me at any time of the week. Boom, 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 boom.
You sound like they were shooting.
No, I don't think they shoot. But still, it's just like, come on, where is this discipline? I was in church Sunday. Mm-hmm. Dude was an usher. Right. It was the youth were ushering. The biggest kid back there, he cutting up. And I'm sitting here looking at him.
Oh, deaconess would have...
Dude, tell me about it.
A deaconess would have came through and left a mark in the church.
And I'm sitting here looking at him, I'm like, dude, I need you to chill, because right beside him is my son.
Right.
And I can just look, all I do is look at my kid.
Right.
But the other boy, I'm like, dude, I need you to stop, because they saying what you doing, and by you acting a fool, they going to act a fool.
Well, children naturally going to act a fool anyway. It's just they got to get chin checked. When I say chin check, I'm not talking about abuse, audience. I'm talking about checking your child. Like Carlton said, as fathers, all of us are fathers in here. All we have to do is give a look to our children, because we instill that we're the man of the house. Mm-hmm. What our rules are, you're going to obey. And if not, there's going to be hell to pay. Hell to pay might come in many different forms. But when Daddy said, his word is born, it's going to go down. So, I think it also calls him to add to your point, it's a lack of fathers in the community, especially in the black community anyway. Right. With the number of young black men that are actually in the home taking care of their family or being a part of their children's lives, it's all on mom, all on Mima, or grandma, or mom.